Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Today we'll have an elaborate discussion on T.S. Eliot's drama. Previously, we had idea about Eliot as a poet, as a critic, but today let's know Eliot was a dramatist and he had uh, composed 5 plays like 4 quartets, Modern Cathedral that was published in 1935, The Family Reunion, and Cocktail Party, Confidential Choir, and The Elder Statesman. And Eliot was also awarded Nobel Prize for Literature. Okay, and Eliot, for your information, I would like to share one thing here that a recitation of poem on the stage was not done till that time or till the period Eliot introduced recitation of poem on the stage, because these plays are the dialogues are written in poetic form, and you can see this as if the characters they recite poem on the stage. That may be their dialogue, but dialogues are not told in prosaic form. That is told in poetic form. It's a unique style that he introduced in modern time, though William Shakespeare drama, we find the poetic expression of the dialogue by the characters, but in modern drama, it's T.S. Eliot who introduced this thing. And this modern cathedral, it's a religious, it's a conflict in between materialistic attitude and spiritual attitude. So this conflict, because there are not a lot of things taking place on the stage, only the dialogues, only the background, all the things are right, and how people lack spirituality, how people lack morality, how people became blind for matter, because people keep themselves involved in mundane life. And this is reflection of Iliad in its drama Modern Cathedral. I want to give you the background of the drama, the play Modern Art Cathedral, because everything is centered around with the character Thomas Becket. Thomas Becket was uh, he was bishop, he was chancellor, and he was also Archdeacon of Canterbury, and very close to King Henry. His dedication, his trustfulness, and his his it's a dutifulness. You can say that he was very duty-bound person that made him achieving such great position and power. Actually, Thomas Becket, around whose modern the play revolves, the character who do we discuss, he was born in England in 1818. Sorry, 1118. Around 1142, he became a clerk to the Archbishop of Canterbury. And by his dedication, he rose to the position of Archdeacon of Canterbury in 1154. Right? Uh, he discharged his duties so heavily that the following years the king appointed him chancellor of the realm. This was very important post with power on the second to the king, the man who is considered next to the king, so far power and position is concerned. Becket and the king seem to be good friends, as I told to you, and his hard work and efficiency uh, that made him very close to the king Henry, and he was also incorruptible. But in 1162, you see, you remember, he was born in 1118 and he was appointed as the court to Archbishop of Canterbury in 1100, and he was promoted to Archdeacon of Canterbury in 54. Then in 62, he was appointed as Archbishop of Canterbury. Actually, he did not have that desire to occupy that position because that was the request of his friend. And his friend understood him very well. So he accepted reluctantly. And he felt that as the Archbishop, he would have other loyalties that might bring him into opposition to the king. Because most of times that it seems that there is a contention is usually seen in between king and the bishop.
Finally, he knew his friend, he did not take the views seriously, dismissing them as mere formality. Up to the time that Thomas Becket, uh, under the care of trial of criminal clergy and the worst penalty that the church could inflict was to unplug the criminal clergy. So King wanted uh, to have a uniform in secular policy for the whole population and clerks included. He wanted no interference even from Rome in its reformation or in the system of government. So he made a constitution defining the relationship between the church and the state and presented it for the acceptance at Clarendon. That was in 64 because Henry appointed his friend Thomas Becket in 1162, and this bill was placed in 1164, just after 2 years of his appointment, giving appointment to his friend Thomas Becket. So Becket was very, he was very man of independent, and he did not like to misutilize the power and the position of the bishop, because the power and the position of archbishop, that is because people acknowledge him as the representative of God, and if any decision or if anything that is he was going to change, that must not hurt to the impartiality of the church. So Becket opposed the proposal of his friend Henry on the ground that if the clergyman is punished, once he is punished, he must not get punishment for the second time. That unfrocking was enough punishment, and no one should punish twice for the same offense. And it's very obvious and it is very lawful things that Becket told the king was very obstinate, and he did not expect his friend to oppose him on any ground. So that's why that made him angry. And he, yes, someone asking me questions, can I know what he wanted to know? Can you please let them in? Whom?
Students, sir. Students, they can't join the meeting. They're asking
Ah,
in the group.
They asked to join the meeting.
Yes, because maybe someone from the
uh,
IT should let them in.
so actually, what should I do?
Maybe you should tell the IT group responsible for this meeting. They let them
So
in.
if anyone it's technically sound, please let them join in class. And if I just open it,
this. So now we came to know the contention in between uh, Thomas Becket, the Archbishop, and Henry King, because he wanted to bring a bill, to pass a bill. Yes, yes, yes. Please tell me. Again, I want to know the thing that you asked me. I could not get it due to network issue. Uh,
Sir, I just want to know
where,
the chapter name, sir.
no, no, chapter means it's Murder in Cathedral of T.S. Eliot, modern drama. We are discussing that. I'm just talking about the background of the play, Murder in Cathedral. Or
Sir, you
what is
just
the matter?
mentioned someone's date of birth as 1100. Sir, who was that?
Who?
Yes, sir. Sir, you mentioned someone.
1118.
Yes, sir.
1118. Thomas Becket. Uh, I was born in England 1118.
Okay, sir. Sir, is he related anyway to Eliot?
No, that is in no way, because it's a matter of Eliot. It's a modern man, and Eliot was 20. He was born on
In
26 September
1888.
1888.
Yes, sir.
So, and
Okay, sir, I
because
got it.
this was
Thank you.
it is not at all related. I'm talking because all the discussion center around the main character Thomas Becket. Thomas Becket was the archbishop, and he was very close friend to Henry King Henry, and his dedication, his trustfulness, his duty bound uh, made him made him very close of the king, and king appointed him as Archbishop of Canterbury. So, and king thought that I could do anything I like in presence of my friend, the Bishop of Canterbury, Archbishop of Canterbury. But when he wanted to bring a reform, because anything that happens in the church, the archbishop will have to take permission from Roman church. And as per the instruction, if that is accepted universally, then that will be passed. But to bring some reform in that law, King Henry, he brought a bill, and in that bill, he wanted to interfere. Even if Rome system of government should not interfere with that bill, so that he would act independently, right? So Becket did not accept this thing, because there is a law regarding punishment of a clergyman. The man, because the bishop, the head of the church, most of time they interfere in the affairs of the administration. So due to which the king became in problem, imparting his governance, imparting his administration. So how that could not be done, that this system should be stopped forever, he brought a bill, and that was placed and discussed with Thomas Becket. But Thomas Becket uh, suggested punishment is given to a man for one offense. A man is given punishment. For the same offense, uh, double punishment should not be given. This was the statement, and but this was not accepted by Henry King. and Thomas was a man of impartial, right? And for this regime, that Becket opposed on the grounds that unthrottling was enough punishment, and no one should be punished twice for the same offense, right? So there's pressure was put on Becket, the result of which was that he did not sign his consent, and but declined to put his seal on it, and it's automatically it will hurt to the sentiment of the king. He was not only the king, rather he was very close friend to Thomas Becket. He was very close friend to King Henry, right? Even if like Mahatma Gandhi, he did penance for his signature by fasting and abstaining from serving at the altar. Now, you just imagine the effect of Beckett's opposition by this aesthetic regulation terms of Gandhi's in more recent time, because Gandhi adopted the same policy. How? Because he make a pressure on people, on public, by accepting penance, right? And this was the system that he did, that I will not put signature because this is illegal thing. I, being the archbishop, I must not support the partial bill of the King Henry. So both these great men had a lot of common particularity in their power to combine saintly self-denial with the legal actuality. And this King Henry counter-attacked Beckett's move by accusing him of having failed to produce certain what accounts alleged to have been due from him as Chancellor. He also resorted to imprison the Archbishop. You see, it's because the king is all in all and he can take any decision. No one is there to oppose him, because people are bound to support him, extend their support to the king. So Becket appealed to the Pope, and at last he did not get any way. When he thought, if I'm imprisoned, I may be hanged, and any sorts of mischief may happen to me. In fear of that, he fled by night to Flanders. That's in the same year, 1164. The King of France was pressed upon to extradite Becket, but it declined. The Pope too condemned the constitutions, and statement ensued. You see, King Henry decided to hold the coronation because now Thomas Becket, he fled away and stayed outside for several years. In the meantime, King Henry, he thought about the coronation of his eldest son, Prince Henry, and persuaded the Archbishop of York and bishops of London, Salisbury, to officiate the coronation of his own son. And this had, however, been the right of the Archbishop of Canterbury to crown the kings of England. So Becket saw this as an infringement of his rights and persuaded Pope to suspend the Archbishop of York and his co-adjuncture. But this was not tolerated by, endured by Henry King. You see, so he was Archbishop of Canterbury.
Sir, sir,
It was his responsibility to hold that coronation ceremony of Prince the King. And he requested that this is not right thing, and Archbishop of York is extending his help
For the coronation ceremony of the Prince Henry. You see, Becket and they both met on July 22, 1170. Pope effected a reconciliation between King Henry and Becket. Pope, he tried to compromise the matter in between King Henry and Becket.
and this was only a formality.
As no mention was made between them of the constitutions of Clarendon, and King Henry refused his one-time friend and formal kiss of peace. See, so Becket determined to return to England in spite of being warned by the Dean of Ball not to do so. And this, you just imagine, and the compromise could not be held, or the matter could not be settled. So he reached Canterbury in time to preach his Christmas sermon for the year 1170. We see 64, and he returned to England 1170. He was murdered on 29th of December in its cathedral by 4 knights, and that is Reginald Fitch, Oates, William D. Tracy, Hogg T. Moville, and Richard Britton. So these were 4 knights, came from different countries, and they murdered Thomas Becket in that Canterbury church. After they had performed his deed, they left the cathedral, shouting that they were the king's men, and in all fairness to them, they probably believed themselves to be acting in consonance with a half-expressed wish of King Henry. And this was the situation that we came to know about murder in cathedral. And let us see what are the main characters of the play, because there are 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. In part 1, we come upon a chorus of women of Canterbury, because chorus, in chorus, when it is sung, the entire theme of the play became the matter in that chorus. And 3 women of Canterbury, 3 priests of cathedral,
4 tempters, 4 knights, and attendants. And you can look at the setting of the play. The first thing
Archbishop's Hall. Archbishop's Hall, that was the same year 1170. Uh, the second scene in the cathedral. You see, the first scene, Archbishop's Hall, and second scene is in the cathedral. So when we come upon the situation, we come upon chorus first, which comprises of the poor women of Canterbury. They fear something terribly is going to happen with the return of Thomas Becket, because Thomas Becket uh, should not come back, to Canterbury, because people were ready to kill him. And there is anticipation of murder, anticipation of violence is seen at the very outset of the play. The women, those who are singing that chorus, they fear something terrible is going to happen with the return of Thomas Becket, because he has returned from his exile. He came back to the place after 7 years of exile, and in the meantime he was in France from 1164 to 1171, or just end of 70. And we know the disagreements with his friends and King Henry II over the authority of the church. The state had led Becket to his exile, and he was chancellor. Becket was on the king's side. And however, when he was also made Archbishop by King Henry II, in the hope that the church and state could function together under king's control. But Becket made it known to the king that his loyalties were first to God and only then to the king, you see. And you can, when you can interpret the character Thomas Becket, you can understand his personality and you can understand his divinity, because he was friend to King Henry, and he occupied the power and position by the mercy of his friend King Henry. In spite of that, the moment he became somebody and something, he became a divine head of the state, of the church, he must act impartially. He is no more friend to the king, he is no more friend to anyone else, but he is impartial. And his statement is as good as the statement of God. So first he gave importance God, then to his friend king, and this became matter of contention. And the king, they are very much partial. They don't actually accept these sorts of behavior from the person who had placed him on that high power and position. And we can understand the personality of Thomas Becket is very impartial, very positive, is very good, and he was trying to imparting proper
about the way the state is run without the guidance of the Archbishop's authority. Messenger arrives and states that Becket is returning from France. Priests get curious about the terms of his return. They feel that even if Becket's return is best of affairs with the king, it is better for the people than his absence for the past 7 years. You just imagine. Because people don't have any business at all, because they should be ruled very peacefully. And when he returned back from France after 7 years of exile, and they thought perhaps there was a patch right in between king and archbishop, so that there will be good administration, there will be good governance in the state. And Becket enters in a peaceful way and aware of the dangers involved in his return to Canterbury. He could predict, he's a human being. He could guess that what situation is going to happen just after some times. So four tempters, as I told, four tempters were there, and tempters means those were tempting, they were motivating, those were aggravating the situation, those were arousing the situation, those were trying to prompt how archbishop should be reactive so that something will take place. And he did not utter anything except uttering the word peace, peace, because this is the only word being uttered by Thomas Becket. And four tempters came to tempt him. The first tempter tempts Becket with the time in his past when he was friend with the king. He tells him to go back to those days and forget about his spiritual intensity. Right? Becket overcomes this temptation because he did not have any reaction at the statement of the first tempter, which he considers as no temptation because it comes 20 years too late. Now the second tempter comes and spoke Becket with the time when he was the chancellor to the king and enjoyed secular and political powers. He tells Becket that real power is in this world and not in the next. It means that the king is everything and bishop has no real power. So, and it tells Becket that real power is in this world. But Becket turns away from him. The third tempter is a little different. He tells Becket to team up with the church and barons against monarchy. But Becket tried his best to overcome this thing and this temptation. No one shall say difficult, say that I betrayed the king because she was my friend. He trusted me a lot. And Becket finds the temptation of the fourth tempter most difficult to overcome. He's an unexpected visitor. He tempts Becket with his own pride. The last temptation that Beckett almost sinks into despair. And there is no way in my soul sickness does not lead to damnation in pride. It's a dilemma. You see, the chorus in part 1 reflects the sick nature of the state. The tempters talk about the unreality of human being, and the priests begin to fear Beckett's strong position. So, four tempters, they fail to succeed tempting Thomas Becket by their stimulating words, stimulating statements. And Thomas Becket, he places himself in God's hand. You see, this is the key thing that we find in this modern drama, that the servant of God, he surrendered himself in God's hand and becomes more clear about the nature of his struggle and what he should do. See, and the sermon is an interlude. So Becket talks of Christian paradoxes relating to birth and death and set the stage for its own martyrdom. It's not a big matter, right? And and when we come to second part, then the chorus in a more optimistic mood. The priests are still waiting for the eternal pattern to emerge. 4 knights come from France. They claim that they have urgent business with the king. They accused Becket of ingratitude to King Henry II, you see, because they were hired. These murderers were hired by the king so that they could kill Thomas Becket in Canterbury. You just try to imagine this thing. This 4 knights, they accused Becket of ingratitude to King Henry II, who made him the archbishop. And they accused this ingratitude is expressed in Becket's insisting on power of the church over state. Imagine. Becket insists on the power of the church over the state. But Becket politely defends himself against these accusations, arguing that loyalty to God does not imply disloyalty to the king. It's a great point that it's a very humanitarian point that we find with the expression of Thomas Becket. And it is the divine statement of that loyalty does not imply, and they compare
they forced Becket to leave England but to refuse, saying that he has the sanction of the Pope in Rome. But Thomas Becket answered that I have got permission from England. I have got permission from Rome, Pope of Pope of Rome, and his head, and his permission and his order, his advice is last on this earth. But Becket did not care for them. And again, the chorus talks about the church, state conflict, and the tragedy that will ensue. And the priest, they request Becket to hide in a cathedral in case the knights return again. You see, the humanitarian approach. When the priest, those were surrounded Thomas Becket, they advised Thomas Becket to hide in the case, let them close the door so that night cannot enter into the cathedral. Remember. But Becket was he was a man something different. And the priest, they blocked the entrance, but Becket told that God will protect them. Right? Because to close the door for the knights, it is injustice, it is immoral. Church door is opened for the sinners, for the virtuous persons, for everybody. To save one's life, we cannot close the door of devils, the door of knights. So the priest, they didn't have any alternative because they had to carry out the order of Archbishop Thomas Becket. The knight returns again when the door was opened and the chorus prays for him. They returned in a drunken state. Again, they accused Becket of treason, disobedience, embezzlement of funds, among other issues. Because these are the things they could speak something lie, because no one is there to oppose them. The priest tried to block their entrance, but Becket states that God will protect them. The knights murder Becket. The chorus laments along with the priests. They feel that the church is strengthened by Becket's martyrdom. The knight addressed the audience, arguing that their loyalty to the king made them implement their act. You see, whether you operate Julius Caesar took good friend to Julius Caesar, right? And
Excuse me,
Cassius,
sir.
who was a villain,
Excuse me,
okay?
sir. I want to ask a
Hello,
question. Sir, I want to ask a question, sir.
okay.
Why Murder in the Cathedral is a poetic drama?
No, it's not a, as he murdered. So we can call this drama a poetic drama. Poetic drama is something different. When the dialogues are written in poem, in poetic form, right? The dialogues are written in prosaic form and dialogues are written in poetic form. And when the dialogues are written in poetic forms, we can say that poetic drama. But as the murder took place in that cathedral, for that reason it will not be called poetic drama. Okay, this is not the thing. So he was murdered. Actually, that you just imagine that how people are foolish. People don't accept anything partial or impartial. And the priest protected, they tried to save the life of Thomas Becket. So they blocked the door of church. But it was Thomas Becket who told, no, the door of church should not be closed. It is open for the virtue and vicious people. All can enter into church. It is not only for the virtuous persons or for the vicious persons of the sinners. They murdered and the accused, the knight accused, because he did not agree with the proposal of Henry King. So as Henry King appointed him as the archbishop, a mere clerk who was promoted to the highest power and position of the state and who is considered next to God so far power and position is concerned, and he will be acknowledged as representative of God. But Thomas Becket, he finds himself in the position and he should act on behalf of the God, not act on behalf of the king. The king had authority to appoint him, but the king had no authority to pursue him to do this and that. So he did not accept because this is morality. And we are talking about moral play. Okay, that the king was busy and he was hunkered for his power and he wanted to be dominant and that church should not interfere in the affairs of the king and king should be independent to interfere in the affairs of the church. So the pope or the archbishop that he will be under the control of the king, but it was not accepted. And he could dethrone, he could dethrone. You see, the man, we also come upon this sorts of situation that takes place since long times. The man who became the prime minister of Pakistan and he's imprisoned just after dethrone when he stepped down after 1 year or 6 months he is found to be imprisoned for some days. The same thing happened to all the prime ministers, right? So the king has no control over that military or defense. Defense control their country. Defense control their politics. So the politics never controls defense. This is the fate of all the prime minister of Pakistan. And the same thing that it happens here, that he wanted to make it free.
clergyman, but it is Thomas Becket, he told, if a man is punished once for one offense, he must not be punished for the same offense second time. One offense, one punishment. But one offense, double punishment, it is not accepted. I am doing work on behalf of the God. I am obliged to you. I'm paying my obligation. I'm paying my gratitude. It does not mean that I'll disobey God. If I do this thing, if I execute your thought, then it will be, I will be disloyal to God. My responsibility
Sorry
was
to
to,
interrupt. I have a question, sir.
okay, okay.
Sir, I wanted to ask about the point of contradiction between King Henry and Thomas Becket. Sir, what was the reason between of the conflict between both the Archbishop and the King?
This is the things that I was telling to you, that the content was that he uh, just I'll remind you, because I have already discussed this thing with you, that he wanted no interference even from anyone, right? From anyone. Church
Okay.
should be church should be independent, and the governance of the king should should be, if that is not separated quite from the church, but the king should not interfere with the affairs of the church for all times. But when uh, Henry King appointed his friend Thomas Becket in the position of what? In the position of Archbishop of Canterbury, he thought, what should I do that will be carried out by my friend Thomas Becket? But he did not do that. But your question was, what was the point on which both they were disagreeing with each other? That King Henry wanted to have a uniform secular policy, right? Uniform
Okay.
secular policy for the whole population. He wanted to interference even uh, from Rome in this system of government, and he drew a constitution defining the relation between the church and the state, right? It is a special constitution that was not prevailing previously. When Thomas became the archbishop and King Henry brought or amended a constitution, in that constitution defined the relation between the church and the state and presented it to acceptance. Okay, but Becket opposed. So on this ground, the ground was uh, on talking what's enough punishment, right? On talking what's enough punishment, if the king wants to dethrone a clergyman from power, this is enough. And the same clergyman will be punished after dethronement. It's not decent, right? And he told, on talking means dethroning was enough did not accept the bill and did not put the seal on the bill, and he thought, if I disagree with the king, I will be hanged, I will be imprisoned. So he fled away to France for 7 years. Okay, and there was a patch up. The Pope of Rome, he tried to compromise the matter in between Henry and Thomas Becket. But this was formality, and they could not accept each other. Why the patching was made? Because the son of King Henry was to be coronated, right? In that coronation, as per the ethics rule and condition, the Archbishop of Canterbury should organize that coronation ceremony and should crown the prince King Henry II. But when this man was in France, King Henry, by the help of Bishop of York, right? The Archbishop of York and the Bishop of London, Salisbury, he invited both archbishops to officiate the coronation ceremony of his eldest son, Prince Henry. But Thomas Becket made a complaint before the Bishop of Rome that is under my jurisdiction. I am the Archbishop of that Canterbury Church. So I must officiate that matter. In my absence, the Archbishop of York and London should not officiate this coronation ceremony. It's a gross violation of church rule. Okay. For that reason, the Pope Rome tried to compromise the contention had in between the king and Thomas Becket. Okay. And Thomas Becket at last thought, let me go back to my country. Let me go back to my country to impart service to the people of my state. After 7 years of exile, he come back to his own place to act as archbishop, because he got this permission from Rome, because all Rome, the Bishop of Rome is all in all of all church, he is head of all church. As per his permission, as per his recommendation, everything happens. So getting permission from Pope of Rome, he came back to his country and entered into the cathedral. And the problem arose there. And 4 knights, they were hired from other countries to kill Thomas Becket. The priest and the chorus, they were singing. The women, those who were singing that chorus, they were anticipating something was going to happen, something violence was going to happen in the cathedral. The priest
the tempters, they tempted Thomas Becket to make him, to get him angry, to get him irritated against the king, against the past relationship they had. But he did not reacted at the temptation of the tempters. And he could not surpass the statement of the four tempters. And he told, the king may be head of the state. I am loyal to the God. Thomas told to the fourth tempter that I am loyal to God. So it does not mean that I am disloyal to your king. A very good statement. I am loyal to God as well as I am loyal to your king. But they did not listen this thing. They were hired to kill. They did their work. And when the priest tried to close the door to stop Thomas Becket told the door of church should be opened because it should not be closed. It should be opened for everybody. The sinners and virtuous persons, they should enter. We cannot stop it. The very statement that I told to you, you have to remember this. Because this is a loyalty to God does not imply disloyalty to the king. Right? This is the great statement of a spiritualist, of a spiritual person like Thomas Becket. And this is the things, because this thing happens in part 2. Okay. And we can, in part 1, this was the matter that I don't want to discuss this matter to make it complicated, so that there will be problem to understand this thing. Because Becket, when he entered into that cathedral, only one word repeatedly was saying, peace, peace, as he enters, is very significant. So they strive for peace in different ways. Knights think that by killing Becket, they can obtain peace. You see, he uttered the word peace, but knights, those who came to kill Thomas Becket, they thought after murder, peace could be established. Right? So the priests, those who were in surrounding or beside Thomas Becket, they thought they can obtain it by escaping. But the chorus, the women, those who were singing that chorus, that they are reciting this word, peace, by avoiding witness Becket's martyrdom. You just try to understand that Thomas Becket is killed. The chorus is going on as if they have not seen the murder of Thomas Becket. And what sorts of religion is it? It is a comment to spirituality. By the name of spirituality, how the exploitation is taking place on this earth. It's a concrete evidence that we get here. It's not because this is a common affairs in religious affairs in community, we find this.
So many restrictions are there. A particular kind of people are there, they can talk about religion. Others, they don't have any right at all. Right? And you must be knowing it was so conservative, so fundamental attitude of the spiritual people. They adopt in community, they adopt in religion. We just can imagine out of this situation. So they had not stopped the chorus at the death of a bishop. So they, as if nothing had happened, the women are singing the chorus, ignoring the murder of Thomas Becket. You see, so this thing, it's a very, you just can imagine murder in the cathedral as a Christian history drama. The notion of Christian history is very different from traditional notion of history. While the latter records events without any relation to a meta story, the former, you see, and the former, and this thing specifically refers to all happening on earth as one centering around the gods. It starts with the creation of human beings by God, then goes on to the fall of Adam and Eve from paradise, and moves in a linear progression right up to the day of judgment. See, the history's true meaning and the linear temporality is manifested based in Christ's death for the sins of human beings and his resurrection, rising again from death. You see, and it is the same thing that happened. Can you compare this thing or not? I don't know. Jesus Christ crucified to save the life of human being. Let them be corrected. So when Jesus Christ was crucified, the people, those who had crucified earlier or later, they had also accepted Christianity. And they used the term martyrdom. You see that Thomas Becket, when he murdered, just standing on the right position of his decision, of his impartiality, loyal to God, and it is as good as the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. So, and you can see Christ's death for the sins of human beings and his resurrection, again coming back to this earth. You see, only to let the people know that you just cannot kill the truth. Truth is truth. It comes time and again. You just cannot check it out. So Christ's death was temporal and the eternal. And this eternal time and timeless human and the divine interest intersect, giving a new meaning to temporal events in history. It's important to note that the entering of the timeless into time, finite, creates the paradox of the still point, which is both inside time and outside of it.
You see that, and Eliot himself, he converted. He was becoming increasingly committed to the dogma of incarnation. You see, it is important to remember this is indeed the basic of the Christian notion in history. Becket, in his Christmas sermon, the interlude in the play, explained the meaning of Christ's death and resurrection. So, in interlude, it's the playwright Eliot. He mentioned the paradox of the human and the divine, time and the timelessness, which are embodied in Christ. And both are emphasized by Becket in his sermon, which highlights the simultaneity of rejoicing and mourning in Christianity. It's a providentially oriented history of salvation. All paradoxes in time is resolved only in God at the end of time, which is the last judgment in Christianity. Because Thomas Becket surrendered himself before God. Because that is, he entered from time to timelessness. He entered from finite to infinite. So the way men don't accept this truth, they want to accept this truth in their own way, in their own understanding, because this sorts of venture that human being does only because of they know we have made God, we have made spirituality, we are giving importance on spirituality. So if they have grown in our hand, this can be amended in our hand also. No one can deny this. No one can accept this. So God is made by man. The ethics of God is made by man. The rules and regulation, the interpretation regarding presence and absence of God is made by man. Everything is made by man. And man decide all these things in the finite state. And God is beyond that finite. Man thinks this matter within a circle, but God is beyond this circle. Right? And the history of salvation offers every man the same religious duties to fulfill towards God. The path to those duties is through temptation, sin, repentance, penance, regeneration. So the interlude explained that he has found its place and role in its history of salvation. Martyrdom is always the design of God. This is an insight that other characters, chorus, priests, knights, have yet to acquire. You see. So, very pertinent things that is told. And we know that the man who is in right path, he is always punished and suffer. And truth has no place, but false things, it has much power, and it is given much importance in society. It has more recognition. The death of saints and martyrs also enable mundane history at the temporal level by transforming it into events willed by God. See, Beckett, the chorus, who represent a type of the common man, the priest and the knights, they must understand this and affirm it. This is the dramatic action that the play presents. History of salvation offers every man the same religious duty to fulfill towards God. That you have nothing to do. So before the will of God, you have to surrender yourself. You just cannot prevail your own rule, your own thought before the thought of God. So my question, so the thought that we think was the thought of God, this thought was also not thought of God, rather thought of this human being. The path to those duties is through temptation, as I told, sin, repentance, penance, and regeneration. These are the things, godly things. And these are found in the path of salvation. And martyrdom is always the design of God. This is an insight that we find in this play, how the chorus, priests, knights, they all acquire. The soul becomes the battlefield of a timeless force, where good and evil struggle perpetually for supremacy. That we carry this notion as salvation, which makes Christians believe that ultimately good will triumph over evil. That this idea, this concept of Christian history, this is again the reason why Christian history does not focus on particularly on the political, social, economic events so important to traditional history. Right? So Eliot, the historical thinking after his conversion is an example in point. That if you read the criticism, tradition, and individual talent of T.S. Eliot, that was published 19 to 20, that in that book he has mentioned about pastness and presentness in the context of cultural and literary history. Now, you can see the tradition and history as gaining meaning and existence only through the Christian notion of history, which centers around God. And this is illustrated best in Eliot's use of image
of the wheel. The historically accurate meaning of this image ranges from seasonal cycles inevitably to other meanings. In a Christian frame, it refers to the perfection of God. So I know that the thing we discussed, that how the people follow the path of Godhood suffers all times in life. Because we can understand the tempter, the knights, how did they try their best to accuse Thomas Becket? They accused Thomas Becket by saying, servants of the king to the priest. So the first priest tells the first knight that he is known to them and inquire if he has traveled far to get to them, because they are hired. They are hired to kill. Right thing can dethrone the power. But power can dethrone the divinity. It is proved scientifically that spirituality has less power than the power of the administration, the power of the state. And it is told that only weak people, those who are not capable of doing anything, they take shelter of gods. And the man who is adventurous, who is man of ability, he can do everything. He can make law. And his law, his thought implemented as rules and regulation of the state. And that is acknowledged and recommended by the culture. So people accept that things widely. Only weaker sections, they talk about divinity and they wait for judgment, and that judgment may come or may not come. But we all have to wait for judgment. In waiting for Godot, because this waiting for Godot was written after this murder in the cathedral. See, we have to wait for that judgment, right? Only weak people, they wait. But man of ability and capability, they don't wait. They just take attempt to achieve the things. They also do that because we are studying the modern drama of Eliot. Because peace, when he talks about peace, that is misinterpreted by the knights because they have come to murder him. They come that peace could be established after his death, right? But Thomas Becket was uttering peace, means to make them, to cool them down. But they accepted peace in their own way. Beckett accepted peace in his own way. And who can prevail upon others, he will succeed. Now, as we know, जो जीता वो सिकंदर. So only the men like Thomas Becket, they can talk about this matter. So it is this touches upon the basic Christian paradox. Not only Christian paradox, but in all religious paradox. Suffering and pain in this life, that you get power and glory in the next. And Beckett is telling the same thing, that all the suffering and pain that they go through will fall into pattern. When the figure of God's purpose is made complete, once this happens, he tells the poor woman of Canterbury that all the toiling in the household will appear unreal. He ends his speech by saying that humankind cannot bear too much reality. You see, like Jesus Christ, he uttered this word at the time of breathing last. Humankind cannot bear too much reality. This is a line from Eliot that repeat Bont Norton in the four quadrants. What Beckett means here is that human beings can only have a glimpse of an eternal truth. Reality stands for truth. We are not able to sustain our vision of reality because it is too overwhelming to us. Right? So, this is the things that we find in this modern play, The Murder in Cathedral. Now let us interact regarding the thing that you want to know, because so many participants, they have already left the class and only few 39 learners are there with me now. Now let us interact. What did you find in this drama on this play, Modern Cathedral? Actually, people, common people, their voice is very common. They always clap hands to everybody. You just cannot say that they give their support to the virtuous person. No, that is not right. They support to sinners also. Because this is common attitude of all common men that we come upon, and all the played literature, they reflect the same thing. The common person, common vision of common men. Commoners are commoners, they are not special. And they cannot be special because the persons, important persons who do we discuss in course of our discussion, be it a play, be it any part of literature, they are special persons. We are talking about them. We are talking and interpreting their characters, interpreting their activities.
so that we draw some sorts of conclusion out of that. Okay. So this is the play Modern Cathedral of T.S. Eliot. It's a very real tragedy, and human being cannot tolerate the truth. Its lie is digested, lie is enjoyed, truth stands as painful to all persons. And we find with the character Thomas Becket and Eliot has reflected these common situations that taking place to human life. Now, you had idea about now, please suggest something. What should we discuss next tomorrow?
Sir, can we go
Sir,
back
look
to
back in
Hamlet?
anger or
Hamlet.
Yes, because the first meeting, the voice wasn't clear, so it was hard for me to understand this tragedy.
Okay. We'll discuss that. I'll discuss that because I'll give you time. I have no problem at all to interacting these matters. Hamlet is very important play of William Shakespeare, and due to network problems, if my voice was not heard and if you could not able to listen all my expression in that class, it might be some problem for you. Okay, we'll discuss that. But tomorrow we should discuss a new topic. What other plays are there to be discussed? You
either,
suggest from
sir,
your side.
either
So,
look back in anger or alchemist? Sir,
Alchemist. Okay, look back in anger and alchemist.
alchemist or
Okay,
look
that's
back in anger or alchemist? Any one of this place, sir.
okay.
But in the
Tomorrow,
schedule
alchemist.
tomorrow, class.
Ben Johnson's alchemist. We'll discuss tomorrow. Okay, and
Okay.
Alamam
Okay,
that
sir.
what's Mazda. Mom had a questions to repeat that Hamlet class. Actually, I'll do that. I don't depend upon that. In the meantime, before
But sir, tomorrow we don't have the class.
this at 4 o'clock, we'll have the same class.
Yes, because,
Others,
sir, we missed 2 classes.
you have classes tomorrow.
No.
Sir,
We
we
had 2 classes that
no weekend, sir. Sir,
Yusra. I'm talking
Tuesday,
about the classes we missed.
sir, Monday and Tuesday. That is, I think 29th and 30th of February, January. There was no class actually. We missed 2 class.
Okay. So you want to manage the 2 classes that it could not be organized due to some technical problems. I could not able to engage that class,
Yes.
and you want to
Yes.
manage the 2 classes. Okay. Okay, I'm ready. Actually,
Yes,
I'm ready.
and
Yes, sir,
I want
and
actually
sir schedule
weekend,
पे भी कल की क्लास नहीं है.
weekend there is no class, sir. So there is no class in weekends. Now the schedule is as per the schedule, there is no class in the weekends. So your next class will be Monday and Tuesday.
Oh, Saturday and
Sunday
Sunday, you don't have
usually,
any classes matter, no?
yeah, there won't be any classes according to
Oh,
schedule, sir. According to the IGNOU schedule
if
we
that is the
received,
thing,
there is no classes in weekends
okay,
like Saturday
okay,
and
if
Sunday.
the things, let us, we'll do that on Monday, no?
Huh.
We'll that Monday and Tuesday.
Sir, we can split. Sir, we have 2 hours.
Okay.
We can go through the first hour we go through Hamlet, and the second hour we can go to Alchemist, then to Midsummer Nights of Shakespeare, because it's there in the assignment, and I'm afraid that some points weren't clear, and I don't know what to write.
Okay. On assignment that you need to know that Midsummer Night's Dream of William Shakespeare's comedy, right?
Yes, sir, it's there in the
Do
assignment, and we didn't go through this. So,
okay. Have you got questions? Have you collected questions from net?
Yes,
Have you
sir.
collected
The
questions for
assignment
assignment?
questions?
Okay,
yes,
okay.
yes, sir, we have it
Yes, sir.
on the
There is
portal.
two questions. Sir, actually, there are two questions from Look Back in Anger.
Okay. That is the matter.
John
Okay.
Osborne.
And that look back in anger and the alchemist. Both plays I'll discuss. No. Okay. This is very interesting place.
Okay,
It
sir.
won't be any problem. Well, because very simple. The stories are moving very smoothly, and you will enjoy listening the alchemist. Volponi and alchemist Ben Jonson. It's very interesting stories are there, right? And we'll do that on Monday. We'll discuss that the alchemist. Thereafter, look back in anger. That will be done next on Tuesday.
Oh,
Am I right?
okay,
Okay.
sir.
Okay.
Sir, we have also the Playboy of the Western world.
Playboy.
It's there in
So
the assignment too.
you see, you have so many plays for preparation to read. But my suggestion is that if you get yourself prepared 6 plays, then you can find questions from that 6 plays. You may find questions from all that plays, but if you get yourself ready with 6 plays, then that will be better for you, so that you will be relaxed, not getting yourself prepared with the other three
Sir,
Sir,
plays.
can you give
I
us
have
the sixth
one
place,
question.
sir? Hello? Can,
uh, because we have discussed Hamlet. uh, what plays we have discussed so far? Hamlet.
We discussed
we
Hamlet.
have discussed
We dis
Hamlet, Waiting for Go.
Dr. Fossis.
And Murder in
Okay.
Cathedral today. So 4 we have
And
done.
Murder in Cathedral.
Also.
We have done 4, and we have with us the Alchemist and Look Back in Anger. 2 plays are there, and 6 plays. I think that will be uh, that will be enough for you to get you prepared for MEG-2, right?
Okay.
So after that, let us complete this 6 plays first, and that Midsummer Night's Dream, that is also very interesting play, and we can also discuss when we'll get some times within these 2 hours. I can also get some time to discuss this Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes,
We can
sir.
do that. Don't worry about that,
If
right?
we can
So
have
this
if you can, sir, if you can
you
reschedule the
see.
missed class, then we can cover two more plays, sir.
Oh, so when my scheduled class will be over, when it over, when it completes,
Tuesday,
Tuesday that will
coming
last.
Tuesday, sir. Monday, Tuesday.
Coming Tuesday will be last. No.
Yes,
Anyway,
yes, sir.
the link I am given, uh,
In case if
that
you
link.
can arrange for a class in the weekends, then we can make sure that we'll be available, sir. This weekend, Saturday, Sunday, any one day.
Okay, but other thing that my you just note down my phone number. Okay,
Over telephone,
You
we can
already gave.
also.
Sir, you already gave.
Okay. So no
Sir,
matter.
once again, please just give the number. In those time, I have not just mentioned here. So, phone number.
Phone number 7008 758 624.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, no matter. It's not matter the class whether they will elect me for the classes further or not. I don't have any idea. Anyway, no matter. But personally, if you find any problems regarding to know something else regarding your topic, regarding the matter, you can have also talk to me. I'm free to talk to you. Okay, I don't
So,
have any problems to interact with you at any time. You telephone me. Okay.
thank you, sir. So, but I
Sir,
have
totally,
a question
you have mentioned
regarding.
how many rounds are totally comes for the
Okay.
assignment? 6, you are saying, right? 6 or 5?
Ah,
8.
eight.
Okay.
Ah.
So far you have.
Because two classes I could not connect myself with the classes because due to technical problems I telephoned to regional center and they
Okay.
did not attend my phone, but when
Uh,
someone complained them and they telephoned me that why you have not
hmm.
attend previous 2 days classes, I told that I telephoned you to know the problem and to cooperate me so that I could able to engage that class, but they're telling that no, you have not
Uh,
telephoned me, that is not in a record. What should I say? Because I have nothing to say.
okay. And also, I was also wondering that 2 classes, while I was just trying to just open, it was not accepted. Okay, but
Yeah.
I thought that
I tried to
I
enter.
thought I have lost all these 2 classes. Anyway, I am lucky because 2 days were not in work. Okay, sir. Today, so many students were just requesting to just add their uh, video here, but I don't know what was the reason for this one. They couldn't just join with the classes.
So that's a problem because I lack that skillness. I don't have how to link others, how to share others, and how to let join with this link. I have very less knowledge on that matter. Because you all are skilled, I think, except me, almost all the learners, those who are with me, they're skilled on this matter. And if it is possible, if we try to add the people, those who want to join with us, right? So that we can have uh, vast area and we can give others chance to interact with us. Actually, you see that you don't think me that I am the professor that I am discussing something matter because you know maximum things. You are in large area, but I am in limited area. We are just interacting with each other. We are trying to know each other. We are just discussing on certain affairs. It does not mean that we cannot go beyond that. We cannot discuss other matters among ourselves. We are free to discuss all these matters. No, we should not confine ourselves within this sphere also, right? Okay. So
Yeah.
Yes, but I am saying that it's not your mistake, but they were waiting. I have seen so many messages from the WhatsApp group. They were asking to just request sir to just let them to just come inside.
oh,
So anyway, next classes, please try to just let everyone to just join because so far they are not getting any chances to just join. They are suffering. So maybe they are likely to just join with you, but by means of the problems occurred by means of the system, maybe.
I think a system due to
Yeah.
problem of system they could not join.
And also,
This
just
is
like yesterday, today also there have some audio problems. But anyway, it was not same like yesterday. But there have something.
today.
This is a network problem. It's not in the hand of the professor or the IT group. It's
IT,
like
yeah,
a
this related with
network.
IT. Yeah, sir can just
Yes.
inform them.
Sir, I have a
Okay.
question, please, about the passages that you send in the assignment. Should we write about, if we, the question is to comment on these passages, should we write a little paragraph or should we write a full essay about each comment? because I don't know how to answer these questions. Because when I was a student at the university, we used to write essays. And yesterday I asked the same question for another professor, but I don't know if he got my idea or not. But we used to write about a topic, a full essay with introduction, the body, and the conclusion. And we refer to some writers from who
SEC,
criticized the playwright or the author. So I don't know how to write.
no, you first suppose you got a question from this modern cathedral, and that question is there. You first give introduction to the writer and what he intend to tell on this topic that you are going to discuss. Then you start writing. You may write the gist or you may interpret the matter. Then you may go on writing the same modern cathedral, part one, part two. Then you bring a conclusion because that conclusion is already present in the text you have been provided, or from any other source you can also collect a reference books so that you can get complete idea. And in that reference book they have also mentioned how to prepare assignment, how to write your answer in examination, everything that is mentioned there. So this will not be problem for you, right? So you
I
need to, okay, and
Sir,
you
I'm
need to
afraid that
write in one side.
if I write about the whole play, so that I will be out of the topic, means that I'm not. Should I be restricted only to this comment and explain it and analyze it, or I start from this comment and go to the other parts of the play?
Uh, uh,
No,
one
I
minute, one
think
minute. Actually,
we,
sir, actually, sir, in the assignment session A, they have given four passages, like two lines from each play,
okay,
and they asked us to select two from those four questions. Like one is from, for example, one is from Pygmalion, one is from the play Pygmalion, and for example, one is from Shakespeare's Hamlet. Like two passages are there. So they are saying the question is critically comment on the following passage with reference to context.
okay. They
How do you
want
how we
critical
should write
appreciation of that
about
passage.
only the
Okay,
critical
so my
appreciation?
point is,
Because sir, it is for 20 marks. Sir, two we have to select two passage out of four passages. It's like four different plays, and they have given one passage from one play. We have to take two. We have to select now two passages for 20 marks. Each carries like,
okay.
no. We have to answer all the four here. So how to write this, sir? Like it's been like it's for 5 marks to 10 marks. So how to comment or critically answer this one passage?
Because you need to understand that passage, on what context that passage discussed, right? And how do you accept that
Huh.
discussion being made in that passage? You just write from your own understanding. And another thing I want to suggest to one of you, this is because impartially I want to say these things. And even in your position, even if in some cases students are writing the stories, right? Suppose one passage you got from Hamlet, and you are in problem that whether I should interpret this. If my interpretation will not be accepted, then I'll be awarded 0% of mark. This will problem for me. Actually, you face this problem, and this is not the thing like this. You are given that passage, you just go on writing the way you have understood that play, right? It does not mean that you will have to confine your knowledge and explanation within the same passage. When you are talking about Hamlet, you can talk other plays of Hamlet. You can refer other characters of Hamlet, other plays of William Shakespeare. You can also refer the characters of other playwrights. So no matter, that is depend upon you. If you are not that well versed to refer the characters and writings from other drama or other plays, no matter. You just go concentrate your writing
on the same topic, if you go on writing the gist
So
of the topic,
we
it will
have
be
to,
accepted.
so
Okay.
for that one single passage, if it is from a Hamlet, then I can introduce that Hamlet, like I can bring in about Shakespeare's style of writing and a few lines about Shakespeare, and I can talk about that Hamlet, that specific
No,
passage,
no, no.
and critically comment
No,
on
if
how I
if
understood,
that
and then I
question
can end that.
if that question carries 10 marks, if you start writing the style of Shakespeare, then it will cover not less than one page. So 10 mark question means we need
Okay.
to concentrate on the passage. We should not expand our
What
writing and
about
understanding
what about
to
5
other
marks, sir?
questions.
So
What
if
is?
it is for 5 marks, then we can directly comment on that passage, the sir.
Right. That is the thing. If it is 5 marks, if it carries 5 marks, you just concentrate on that paragraph and go on writing that. Okay. And don't try to give
Okay.
examples of other things because it will take a lot of times and then
Okay.
cover a lot of pages. So that is why don't try to be
Sir,
fumble and
so excuse me, sir. So I have to concentrate only on the passage and analyze it in the context, and I don't say anything about the play and other characters and the style, the form, the
No, no,
structure,
no,
all
no.
these.
Because the entire passage, na, it is compulsory. Unlike poetry assignment, this is for 4 passage, and we have to answer all the 4 passage right now. Okay, each passage carries 5 marks. So we have to only write whatever we understood from that passage, and we have to critically comment on that particular passage because it carries 5 marks, and we have to attend all the 4 questions.
okay,
There is no option in this.
good. This is right.
So you
This
need
is
not
the
have to
thing
And
that
write
you
is
have
it
to
about
adapt.
other
also,
things like your.
Because if you write other things, then it will wastage of times and wastage of papers, and you are going beyond the question. So
sir,
we should
and
not do
this
that. We should be very much
does this
careful.
apply to poetry too? It is the same
Okay,
thing.
okay.
Does this rule it is
No, no,
applied
no.
also in poetry? So I should focus only on the
Poetry, you're asking for
excerpt
poetry.
that given.
The
No,
poetry, it
I'm
will be
asking for
different because for
poetry
poetry, now you have to answer. No, for poetry, you have to
because they
answer
didn't.
only 2 from 4 passages.
No, no, I have a clear question that I should only focus on the passage given, not talk about the whole poem or the whole play. This is what I'm
It
asking
depends
about.
on the mark and the question. Actually, the problem is it varies according to the question and the marking. Actually, na, for poetry, you have to select 2 passage from 4 passage, and that 2 passage is for 10 marks. So for 10 marks you can add about extra things beyond that passage, but in drama the question is 4 question, and you have to answer all the 4 passage, and each passage carries 5 marks. For 5 marks, if you actually write more than what is required, then they may actually try to get bored, and they may even think that you are going on and on about something else. You're going out of topic. They may think like the ones who are correcting. You understand? It's for 20 marks and 4 passages, 5 marks.
Okay, that is the 5 marks means we cannot expand our ideas. We have to concentrate what is expected from what is expected by. We have to concentrate all our ideas on that matter, right? We should not write anything extra, so that it will be
Okay,
boring
sir.
and it will be beyond expectation of the question, and examiner will not award you mark because your explanation will be something problematic that will go beyond the
Yes,
expectation
but
of the
if it
question
is
paper.
20,
We need to take care
but
of
if
that
it is
thing,
20,
no?
I should,
We need
yes, but if it is a 20 mark, I should
20
go
marks
on
means
and
okay.
explain.
Right. If it is 20 marks, then you will have to expand all your ideas. You can write about editor, very 2 to 3 lines, the style of writing, and the context that on which this drama or the topic is discussed, and the thing that you want to talk on this matters, what your understanding, what you have accepted, and what knowledge you have gained on that matters. You need to explain all that things there. There is no problem. See, that question carries 20 marks, then you can also expand all your ideas. It will not be problem for you. But it is
Yes,
carried
this is the big confusion, sir.
confused.
So I am not used to this kind of assignments. This is why I am a little bit confused. Since we have different ways of like learning. In Tunisia, we didn't used to have this kind of assignments. We have only um, exams, final exams, and we have like poetry, drama, and fiction. And after that, we have only two of them, like drama and fiction, or poetry and drama. And we have two topics each, and we choose one topic and we write about it. And this is why I'm a little bit confused, and I keep asking
No, no, no.
how to answer these questions.
Suppose uh, you can discuss this thing with me. You see that if it carries 20 marks, then how the answer should be retained. And if it carries 5 marks, how the answer should be retained. We can discuss this matter. Don't fumble. Actually, it is not a big matter for you. And where is your regional center?
No, I am from Tunisia. I am international student. I am not from India.
Okay, okay. You are from
Yeah.
which country?
Tunisia.
Indonesia.
Two.
Okay.
TU. Tunisia.
TU.
Yes,
Tunisia. Okay, okay.
Tunisia.
Acha.
Tunisia. Yeah. Same like me. But I am from Kerala. But I'm staying in Dubai.
So I
Okay.
am resident in KSA, and I applied for this master degree, and it's new for me, this assignments and the way you handle things there in India. This
Oh,
is why
I
I keep
thought I
asking
carried this
every
idea
day.
because you belong to India. Actually, that is I have, because I know Bijan, he belongs to a distance place, and all students, all learners for us, they belong to this part of country. That's why I, I carry this idea. You come from different country, Tunisia. Okay, because your pronunciation that appeared before me like this, I was thinking that you must be abroad somewhere. And okay,
No,
you won't
because
have any
at the
problem.
university we had a British, we have a British professors and the Tunisian professors. So this is
Okay.
why our accent is different.
Tunisia is
Oh,
in
that
North America. Am I correct?
And I was in USA for 1 year, like a Fulbrighter. So this is why my accent is like that.
okay, okay. No matter, but my accent does it put you in problem when I
No,
pronounce,
sir.
when I discuss this thing?
No, sir, because I am used to Indians here in
Yeah, no problem, sir.
KSA.
Your accent is a good,
No,
no problem.
no. At the beginning, I found it a little bit hard for me to understand, but after that, with the reception, I get used to it.
You become acquainted with my pronunciation because
No,
we Indian we
we had
pronounce.
poetry first. We had poetry first with Professor Nanda, and she was great. And now with you, and I am enjoying having these courses. And thank you
Okay,
so
okay,
much for your detailed explanation. I really appreciate it.
Sir, in the
okay,
meantime itself, I am just expecting my final exam for the music. I am a student for that one from Britain, UK, Trinity
okay.
College, London. I have completed all my courses. I am just going to do my final exam on April. So two cases are
Okay.
there for this case and everything. So the people from UK also just dealing with me. They whenever they are just talking and they are just teaching some lessons about the music, and also it's not a difficult for the accent. You are also good
Okay,
because
okay.
we can
Also,
easily
that like
understand.
Dr. Postus, you are the aspirant of knowledge, and you are you are going to acquire knowledge and courses one after another. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's good things. Actually, you are fortunate, and you have enough time in your hands so that you can able to acquire the courses one after another. Actually, it's time is very limited, and the things are a lot to learn on this earth. So in Ulysses, this thing being told by Ulysses. So I want to
Yeah,
learn everything till the last
yeah,
breath.
yeah. Okay. And also, sir, right now I am just working as a trainer in transport department. I
Okay,
have just
okay.
achieved the qualification from UK itself. There is a organization named ROSPA, Royal Society for Prevention of Accident. So they have just given all the credits for me to just complete the course, and I already achieved that courses. And then now
Okay, okay.
Trinity, then now come for the MA. Okay, sir.
Uh-huh. So this
You
is
know
actually,
exactly my because I have
ignore.
I don't worry about my age. I want to study more. That is the reason I am just following.
So age is not a matter because learning process
Yeah,
that will go on till last. So
yeah.
we
So
should
that is the
learn.
reason Uttara is here. I requested her to just he or she Uttara.
Uttara C, perhaps I
It's
think.
me, Uttra.
Sorry,
Uttara,
You.
uh, you. Now,
uh-huh.
Uttara, you are in the WhatsApp group, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is the reason I was asking some support always because I have less time after my duty when I come here. I need to just attend, and I didn't get enough time to just search for the programs from the computer. So whenever I complete or when I need some support, please just do all the support for me, okay?
Okay, Uttara is there because
I was the one who sent the
she
assignment topic.
cooperated you.
I was the one who sent you the
Yeah, I know.
assignment topic in the morning. So that is me. You can
Okay,
save that number.
thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Uttara, you become the leader of the team so that if anyone in problem, you please cope them so that we will have a big group for
Okay,
interaction.
Yes,
sure,
she's
sure,
very
sure.
helpful. She's very helpful.
Okay,
And
okay.
she's very humble.
Hello.
And thank you so much, Yotra.
Uttara, you belong to which place? Yes,
I
Uttara,
am
you
from
belong to
Tamil
which
Nadu.
place? Could you tell
I
me?
am from Tamil Nadu, sir, from
Tamil Nadu.
Chennai.
Oh,
But I am
yes,
currently
yes.
residing in
I
Delhi.
thought,
So I am
okay.
currently residing in Delhi. I am from basically from
Yes, you
Chennai.
told me.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, okay.
Uh, And also try to just help Majida also because she's so far she's from Tunisia. Maybe she needs some more help related with our Indian systems and everything. Okay.
This IGNO
Okay, sir.
had helped us
Thank you
to
so much.
bring the
Thank you
world.
so much.
Okay, thank you
The,
so much. Nice
I
to meet all of
apologize
you.
if
Thank you, sir.
I keep interrupting each time.
On Monday we'll meet again today. Tomorrow,
Thank you
no?
so much. Thank you.
Tomorrow we don't have any
Okay.
classes, no?
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday we
Yes,
have
sir.
no
No
classes.
classes tomorrow.
No, today,
Okay.
tomorrow and Sunday we don't have any classes. Monday again we'll meet. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
Good
sir.
night
Thank
to
you.
all.
Thank you,
Good
Uttara,
night.
Majida, for everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. कौन कोनटा कहीं नर এইটা বা টঙ্গা হইতো আইডি হ্যাঁ আইটি মানে এটা খসি যাইতব না না এইটা তাহলে কন্টাক্ট করতে আরে দেখো আইটা বড় বড় হতো হ্যাঁ না না কন্টাক্ট করে নিকো ক্লাস সেটা ইয়ে করতে বড় কাজ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ সিলেক্টর ঘিচিয়েছি হলো ସେଇଟା ମଜବୁତ କଣ ତଥାପି ମଜବୁତ ନୁହେଁ ଆଉ କଣ ସେଇ ଟାଙ୍ଗିଆକୁ ଘର ସେମିତି ହେଇକି ସେ